Alright, so here we have Lingen Moonfinger, who is our halfling thief. His Some of his best things are charisma, intelligence. The dexterity is pretty average. Strength, not super great. Hit points only 4. Armor class again of 10. He does have a crossbow, short sword, backstab, +2 weapon dice of damage. Um, with the 13 strength, he does have, 13 slots available, which may come in handy if we find any treasure here. Um, Basically, he's just got his backpack thieves' tools. Um, the weapons here, language is common, so he doesn't really speak any other languages. But we've got the stealth, once per day, become invisible for 3 rounds, which probably could come in handy here. And then we have the backstab ability, thievery, trained in climbing, sneaking, hiding, disabling traps, delicate tasks. So definitely, I think, going to be an important character in really any dungeon. I think a thief is invaluable. All right, then we got Sarwaren Sageheart, who is our elf wizard. And to be honest, in all the years I've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, which honestly goes all the way back to the late 70s, believe it or not, I never played a wizard ever. I typically played a paladin or a fighter. Never really did much with clerics, priests, or wizards. So this will be a little bit of a challenge, especially me trying to handle 6 player characters in a solo adventure. I think this is going to be a real challenge. Maybe a bad choice. Maybe I should have just run a random solo dark adventure with one character. But I'm going to give this a try and see how it goes. But intelligence of 16, constitution of 15, which is pretty good. Hit points is 5, probably not bad for a wizard. And again, with that 12 strength, we've got 12 slots, so he's only got 1 extra slot. Not going to be carrying a whole lot of stuff. And again, this is a sheet that I created with um, the shadowdarklings.net website. Um, And the nice thing is it gives me a second page which lists the known spells and then gives me the info. So this is actually really handy if I wanted to print this out or refer to it. Since I am not that skilled at playing a wizard, I think this is a really cool thing for me just to have these spells here on this second sheet. And I do have a magic item as well that I'll be able to use. And again, languages, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Goblin, Orcish, Sylvan. So between all these player characters, I think we're going to have a pretty good handle on a lot of the languages that might be spoken. I have no idea what kind of creatures we're going to deal with in this adventure, but I'm really excited to give it a shot. All right, so the first character that I created was Therian here, and I believe this one I just created with the a fillable PDF that I got from the Arcane Library. I actually did not use Shadow Darklings or Shadow Dork to create this one, which is probably why I don't have the other slots marked out. I really like how Shadow Darklings and Shadow Dork actually will cross out the extra slots so that you don't accidentally use them. I'm going to have to save that too. Save that character sheet. Now, there we go. We'll save that in there. Overwrite it. But we got the fillable PDF. So this is our human fighter, one of the main fighters. I rolled an 8 on the hit points, which was pretty awesome. 17 strength, 15 constitution. Everything else is relatively average. He speaks common and elvish, +1 for melee and ranged attacks, +1 to armor class. Gains. Oh, I gain. That's right. Duh. I don't want to delete the extras. But yeah, he gains +2 to gear slots for hauling. So with the 17 strength, I've actually got 19 slots available. I'm glad I double checked that, so we will have to save that sheet again. Okay, the next character we've got is Rolganlir Leadsunder, who is our dwarf priest. Luckily, he does have hit points at 7. Armor class is just 7. Not a very strong character. We've only got a strength of 4, so we've got the -3. Not going to be very good for that, but I felt like we did need at least one priest in this mission because I really like having some of extra abilities here, which the spells that he has would be Cure Wounds, also Protection from Evil, which I'm not sure what we're going to run into, but if we have some evil stuff in here, which I kind of expect. And then also, if there's any undead, he has the ability to turn undead. So these are going to be some really useful things. My plan is to try to keep these guys in the back, keep the priest and the wizard in the back, and let the fighters kind of take the front, take the brunt of whatever's coming, because I'm going to need these spells to try to cover everybody. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see how this goes. All right. So one of the guys I expect to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this, maybe one of the best fighters I've got would be Uzguk, who is our half-orc fighter. His strength is 16. His dexterity is 17, which is great. Constitution 10, fairly average. Wisdom of 14, which is not bad. He's got 7 hit points. He speaks Orcish, so if we do run into any orcs, we've got that covered for sure. So his background is that he was orphaned. His deity is Ord, and got a great sword, leather armor, longbow, some the flint and steel. The other everything else is pretty standard. But I expect him. And we've got 3 fighters in our group of 6. So I'm really expecting these 3 guys to try to protect the priest and magic user. All right, so just a little background on the dungeon itself, which I probably should have started out with that, but basically, long ago, a mighty enclave of warriors lived inside the Lost Citadel, and they worshiped bulls in ever bloodier cultish rituals. So they had a leader. Their leader was named Minorus, uh, and these rituals caused him to transform into the Scarlet Minotaur. This raging Minotaur slaughtered the warriors in a single night of mayhem. But what happened was some of the servants escaped through the unseen halls that are in this area. And these people became known as the Beastmen. So kind of the background that we know about. That's about all we really know. There's some rumors, things like that going on. But basically, there should be treasure here, we imagine. We're hoping we don't run into this Minotaur. I don't know where he could be in this in this dungeon. Don't really know any of that. Don't know too much about what these beastmen are, what they can do. But I will say the skeletons I mean, there's 6 of us in our party, and we just dealt with 3 skeletons, each who had like 11 hit points, which was really, we had a difficult time, believe it or not. So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not sure if 6 player characters is really going to get us through this. I just don't know. All right, so I'm not going to probably play through each small thing. It's kind of hard going through 6 characters playing the solo, but just to give a quick update, we did come in through the main entrance here into this first area, which is known as Area 1. We found about 30 gold pieces hidden behind a statue, but we also had 3 skeletons come at us, and there was something on the ceiling too that kind of shrieked and took off. We're not sure exactly what that was. but it didn't come towards us. But we did manage to take out the three skeletons. However, we did take quite a bit of damage. Nobody died, luckily. Looks like he's good. The people who got hit pretty hard was Therian. He has 8 total hit points. He's down to 2 right now. So I really don't feel like we can move forward in the shape we're in. Also, Grumsh, our goblin, did a heck of a job. Actually, single-handedly took out one of the skeletons, but he's also down to 1 hit point. So I've got 2 people here that if they get hit even once, we're pretty much done. But other than that, everyone else came through pretty unscathed. Did try a magic missile with Sarwin that missed. Didn't have a lot of luck there with spells. Our thief had to jump in and tried to do some fighting himself because two of our 3 fighters were in pretty bad shape. So I'm a little bit nervous already. I mean, 3 skeletons. I'm not even sure if that's going to be the hardest thing that we're going to face in this dungeon. But currently, that's where we're at. I think I'm going to have to hole up somewhere and recoup these guys before I try to push forward. And I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go. I need to try to add probably some more of the fog on here so that I don't quite see what's happening on the map. You can do that. I'm using Owlbear Rodeo, by the way, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but I am doing the best I can. It's kind of hard again to run 6 characters, so I'm just going to really be doing kind of updates on this, kind of giving my impressions on the dungeon as I go through it.